Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a important gear test that you should definitely do before you go on any long hike. But you do need to do it a few days or a week or so before you go on it, because your stuff needs to dry out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically throw my pack into a deep part of our river and see if the stuff inside of it is still waterproof and still usable. Now, I've made my pack before I decided to do this video very water resistant, meaning there are no like matches, there are no paper maps. I actually don't have a map in my pack because I'm not going anywhere. But if you did, you need to have like a laminated map or some other type of waterproof material for your paper, for your lighter. If your lighter gets wet, usually you can't use it. Like I said, the matches, usually you should bring a ferro rod, and I do keep at all times a small fire kit. This basically consists of tinder, some charcloth, flint and steel, and some matches on me at all time. And also I keep clipped to my belt loop a Strike Force fire starter. Oh, also this fire kit includes some steel wool, so that really helps. But I also have clipped to my belt at all times a Strike Force fire starter, which on the top has some again some steel wool. So that I can pretty much always start a fire unless I fall in the water too, which I guess that's a little bit more realistic. So to make it more realistic, I'm going to throw this into the water. Now, again, before I even thought of making this video, I put all this in a plastic bag. So inside here, also this small bag is semi-waterproof, but yeah. So I'll throw my gear into the river to see, pretty much to simulate your dumping canoe or kayak, or even if you're trying to cross the river and your gear falls in, you should still always have your gear in some sort of waterproof container, so that it does not get soaked and so it's unusable. So it's a test about waterproofing our gear. Stay with me. Okay, so here's our pool. Say it's about 2 foot deep, which is obviously easily deep enough to submerge my pack. I'm not going to actually like submerge my pack, I'm just going to throw my pack in. It's quite heavy, so it should make a big splash. It should simulate as best as possible your canoe tipping or whatever, and you having wet gear. So try this again. Don't try this unless you want your gear to be wet, because obviously this does require your gear getting wet. So I'll try and find a deeper part of this pool for you and show you that, show you the test. So I didn't want to do this video because it requires my gear getting soaked, but I think it's an important thing to do. So let's try it. Moment of truth. See, it floats. Throw that guy in there too. Now I'll go in and get it. Unfortunately, I kind of can't. Oh, geez. I'm gonna have to pick it out. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so immediately after you get your gear out of the water, you want to open it up, dump it out, so all the excess water comes out. You get all the water waterproofing stuff that needs to be dry, get that out first so it doesn't, so the water doesn't soak it. Let's see, I have all my stuff in here. This was the main thing that I was worried about, but I had it in this semi-waterproof kind of dry bag type thing, and looks pretty waterproof, or pretty dry to me. There is some water on it, but obviously the fire can do that. Ooh, I forgot to fish out my fire kit. As you can see, it's escaping way down there. Wait, is that it? Oh, there it is. So I'll go and get that right now. But that is in a plastic baggie, so it should be okay. But I'll start a fire with it just to prove to you that it is okay. So, here's the kit. I don't see any water inside of it. It seems quite nice and dry, and this is, again, semi-waterproof, but also I'll throw my Strike Force in there just to prove to you that, again, this Strike Force fire starter is a good investment because it's waterproof. I think it takes a few tries before you can get sparks on it, but eventually, oh nope, immediate. See that? So I mean, that's impressive. I think the steel wool in the back of this will be ruined, maybe, but it looks like to me it's not. So that's a good thing. So I'll start a fire right now and show you guys all the stage, or the what you call it, shoot, the condition that my gear is in. So stay with me. Well, we're back on dry land, back from our canoe dump or kayak dump, or even larger boat if it sinks. We have our gear and try and build a fire, and we'll inspect all of our gear to see if it's still usable. Most of it probably will be. Some of the stuff in the side pockets, maybe not. That stuff is less waterproof stuff, but hopefully. Actually, this twine, which is absolutely quite easily, could quite easily get wet, is quite dry. So I'm sure we could still build a fire with that. Obviously, the slingshot doesn't really matter if it gets wet, nor does the axe. Obviously you have to dry off the axe handle, or the axe blade, because it's carbon steel, but other than that it's fine. The whetstone is supposed to get wet. My instructions for wilderness cooking is in a plastic bag, so obviously that's okay too. So overall, pretty good. So that's one side pocket. Try the other one. More knife. You have to dry off the hand or the blade, because again it's carbon steel, it'll rust. That just requires a quick swipe with the shirt and you're good. Maybe dry the sheath by the fire. But on my headlamp, which was I was most worried about, but it does still work. Not sure if you can see that light because it's daytime. As you can tell, it does still work. Oh yeah, you're good. There's 3 phases: night vision, LED, and just a normal flashlight. So that still works. My first aid, my small first aid kit,
I mean, there's some stuff wet in it. The band-aids might not work. Let's see if they're still sticky. I'm doubtful. This might be the only thing that's actually compromised first aid kit. I'm surprised this got so wet. It was at the bottom of the pocket, so that's most likely why it's where the water pooled. I don't have a cut, I just want to see if it's still sticky. Darn. It is a pain to open, that's for sure.
Well, the truth seems pretty sticky. I'll pick that up later so I don't litter. Still seems pretty sticky. Yep, still works. See, I mean, it still holds. Yeah, still good. So, I mean, that was the worst hit by water, and still works. Fortunately, I just wasted one, but you know.
So that was both pockets and the big bucket pocket. Oh, the compass too.
I'm not sure if compass our water is or not. But as you can see, I'm pretty sure it still points north. So technically it's still completely fine. Not completely level, but it is pointing in the general direction of north. It's hard to be level. Yeah, that still works. But yeah, and let's check. This is just my spare box, basically. I have my whistle. Still works. Just wax, some steel wool, more twine, my spare flashlight, which does not work, but I don't think. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. See, it does work. For some reason, I didn't see it the first time. Not sure why, but I have some more band-aids in there. I think this is bacon for traps. There's some lint, so that all still works. As you can see, my instructions, or not instructions, but recipes for wilderness cooking is completely dry. That has basically, like, I think one was rabbit stew, the other one's hardtack, some trail biscuits, basically all the stuff I have in my cooking kit inside my mess kit. Mess kit slash cooking kit slash containers, spare containers. Hot cocoa, all this stuff actually stays completely dry, even without the plastic bags, but that's all fine. Obviously the tarp still works because that's not water sensitive. I do have my fishing kit back here, which that again is not water sensitive. This actually took on the worst water, or the hit, pushing my line kind of unraveled. But what I have in here is spool line and simple hobo fishing kit, which I did in my hobo fishing kit video. But that's all just simple, some pre-made stuff. But this is not a gear showing video, it's a gear testing video, so I'm not going to go in depth. Yeah, so that's important. Now I'll start. Oh yeah, and some extra lint, steel wool, you know, fire stuff. Extra fire stuff. You can never have too much extra fire making supplies. But now I'll start with my fire and see if I can dry out my blanket. That didn't even get too wet anyways, but even still, it's good too. Dry out what did get wet, so it doesn't get musty, and obviously that would stink, literally. Well, this stuff, get out my fire making kit. I think it's still okay. That might have been the only iffy thing. I think there might have been a hole in my plastic baggie, which obviously completely anti-productive. But yeah. My Strike Force fire starter.
this is wet. That's not good at all. The chalk cloth is, wow, it's really wet. Luckily I do have spares, so that's why you have spares, I guess. So I'll have to get a new plastic baggie for that. I didn't realize. It's actually from the Flint. Flint most likely put a hole in it. But you have spares. This one's dead double bag, so that's most likely why this one's survived okay. Don't want to waste too much of this stuff. It's a good sized pile. Some extra steel wool on here. Spread it apart so it catches better. Now obviously before you start your stupid plane, before you start your fire you want to gather your kindling. So I'll do that now, so stay with me. Should go quite smooth, if you know what I mean. One thing that I didn't do that I should do is put a layer of sticks down. The reason why I can even do this video right now, because for some freak reason, it is 45 degrees. No, it's 50 degrees in the middle of February. So, usually my pack would be frozen solid by now if it was any other year. But this year is a weird year. Okay, so we have our layer of sticks down. And start the fire. The twine. Oh, come on. Let's go, come on. There we go. I love how that twine just bam starts up. Really useful to have in your survival kit. Basically, the only thing that got wet was my pack, and that obviously it's a really good pack I got it for $40 at a Army surplus store. But as you can see, it floated, and it kept a lot of the stuff dry. The only thing that's not waterproof is the pocket at the top. Obviously, this flaps open. Oops. This flaps open right here. There's a big pocket, but it also has that covering over it, which obviously really helps. But I'm drying that out right now. The only other thing that got somewhat wet is my hammock blanket. That's over there in that dry bag, but that also has a hole at the top where you draw string it up. Uh-oh. My bag's gonna get really dry now. But yeah, so make sure your gear is waterproof if you're going on a leisurely hike in this kind of weather where it's warm right now, but during the night it gets down to 10 below freezing. And if you get dumped in a canoe or in a kayak, or if you just fall crossing a river, you could be in big trouble. I am going to do a video where I jump in the river too in the summer, because I'm not quite prepared for doing it in the 10 below freezing nights. But I'm going to stay overnight, start a fire, blah blah, all that stuff, which shouldn't be too easy judging by this video. But thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, blah blah. See you next time. Thanks, bye.